Barcelona are interested in a second season-long loan deal for Mainoo Rashford. There's an option to buy him permanently, but financial circumstances at Barca mean they're reluctant to trigger it. Well, we've previously reported that Manchester United have no intention of renegotiating the £26 million fee agreed as part of the deal to loan Rashford to the Spanish Giants. Barcelona are therefore considering making another loan proposal when talks renew at the end of the season. Rashford is under contract at Old Trafford until the summer of 2028. Meanwhile, Mainoo is expected to sign a new Manchester United contract until 2031. United want Mainoo's fresh terms to better reflect his progression and current status in the first team. Well, his current contract was signed in 2023 when he was still 17. Under Michael Carrick, he's become a key figure in the side. Jamie Redknapp believes Mainoo's form will earn him a place in Thomas Tuchel's England squad this summer.
Cobby's been in great form. He's been excellent of late. I thought against Brentford, some of the things he did, the dribbles, the skills, and he's really enjoying himself. And, you know, he probably thought to himself at the start of the year, well, what's my future? You know, am I actually going to play for Man United? You know, because Ruben Amorim had no real interest in putting him in the team. Michael Carrick's come in and God, no, you're my man, you're in. Got his confidence, his belief. He's now looking really fit and strong. I don't just think it's going to be a good end to season for him. I think also there's a World Cup, you know, coming. I'll be amazed if he doesn't get picked in the squad. And if he gets a new contract, I think it's important that he stays grounded. He manages to keep that energy that he's playing with. Because sometimes you see players, young players, get contracts, or they start to think, OK, this is it now. I can relax. No, he's got to keep going because he's too good a player not to. So exciting times for him, and it's good to see him back in the form that we all know he can play with. So it's lots to look forward to for him.
Well, Manchester United need 2 more points to secure Champions League football for next season. Michael Carrick has done all he can to get the head coach's job long-term, but our football correspondent Rob Dorset says that the United hierarchy is in no rush to make a permanent appointment.
There's no doubt that Michael Carrick is in pole position. He's done a fantastic job. And you say he's on the cusp. He had one mission, which was to come in and achieve Champions League football. He's virtually done that. They're 11 points clear of 6th. Only 12 points left to play for. It'd be a monumental, spectacular collapse from here if they didn't make Champions League football. But it's not just the results. He's galvanised the squad. The players are talking him up. They say they want him to get the job. There's a very positive atmosphere around the training ground. The players love training. He's been great with the media. It's an all-round package from Carrick. He couldn't have done any more. He's done all he possibly can. And if you look at more than the results, he's got a better goals per game ratio than any Manchester United manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. He's got a better points per game record even than Sir Alex, 2.2 per game. Now, all right, it's a small pool of results. It's 15 games in charge. But what's been made clear to me is that Manchester United are not going to rush this decision. The bosses want to make sure they've crossed every T, done their due diligence, done strategic decision-making. Those are the key parameters they're talking about. And there will be a process. They will interview candidates. Michael Carrick will be one of those. They will talk to other people. They haven't done yet. There's been sounding out of some intermediaries, as I understand it, but no formal contact with those other candidates. So they want to be sure that they've done everything right, that they've ticked every box, because this is a really important appointment for Manchester United going forward. So yes, Carrick, a strong favourite, but not an absolute definite just yet. But I think United are pretty comfortable with that, and they expect that to happen when the process starts. That process will begin at the end of the season. Don't expect anything before the end of the season, because United don't want to disrupt what they've got. They've got a massive game against Liverpool, which is a huge game in the English football calendar at the weekend, and they can finish anywhere from 2nd to 6th in the Premier League table. So the United bosses, I think, are saying, well, look, why would we change anything? Why would we make a rush decision now? And we know that the other options they're considering at the moment, or have considered, are big-name heavyweight hitters. Carlo Ancelotti, Thomas Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique. But just at a time when Michael Carrick has done so well, those options have dwindled for Manchester United. Tuchel and Ancelotti have both signed new contracts with their respective nations, Brazil and England. Looks like Luis Enrique is going to sign a new contract with PSG. So in terms of the heavyweight options that United have got, maybe, to come in as a big name, the character that can cope with the club, maybe they haven't got as many options as they thought they had. That strengthens Michael Carrick even more.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see what United do. Well, Rob mentioned it there. They face Liverpool on Sunday. One of the best jobs in world football could be up for grabs in the summer. No, not my job, which it is pretty good, but the job at Real Madrid. As you can see, our chief correspondent, Carve Solocol, is here. Right. Is this anything in this? Could Jose Mourinho be going back to Real Madrid?
Never say never. I think it is on the cards. According to Sky Germany's reporting last night, he is now the favourite to return to Real Madrid this summer. Now, it would be an extraordinary story because he would be returning to somewhere which he loved. The fans loved him as well. But you have to say, you would have assumed that Real Madrid would have moved on from the Jose Mourinho era. But having said that, he is still very, very close to the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez. He's somebody that he's remained very close to over the years. And intriguingly, he has a break clause in his contract at Benfica, which means that if an agreement can be made with Benfica, which suits all parties, and the break clause is triggered, then he could leave Benfica. So I definitely think it's on the cards. It would be a sensational story for the special one to go back to a very, very special club.
Yeah, he was special a long time ago. Surely his days are done at a top club.
Whoa.
When was the last time he won anything?
He won at Roma. He's doing a very good job.
What did he win at Roma?
He won the Conference League. But that was the competition they were in. They weren't expected to win the title when he was there. I think, look, we're going to have to agree to disagree. I still think he's a fantastic manager with an incredible track record, incredible charisma. I do accept your point that he may not be at the peak of his absolute powers. He's not the Jose Mourinho we saw first time round at Chelsea, at Inter Milan as well, at Real Madrid. But he's still a very, very good manager. Look at his record at Benfica at the moment. They are second in the table. OK, they're not going to win the title, but they are invincible, unbeaten. They beat Real Madrid at home once.
You don't get any trophies for not losing but not winning anything, do you?
Again, you know, we have to agree to disagree. I know you're not the biggest Jose Mourinho fan, and I take your point that he's not at the peak of his powers, and perhaps, you know, Real Madrid should be looking elsewhere. But Real Madrid need
someone at the peak of their powers. They're Real Madrid.
What I think Real Madrid need is somebody with authority, somebody with charisma, and somebody with an incredible track record.
Right,
and I think they get that.
Here.
They get that with Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, but they get more of it, say, with someone like Jurgen Klopp. Could he come back for that job?
Well, he was asked about links with the Real Madrid job last month. He said reports of links with him and Real Madrid, that his agent had talks with the Real Madrid, were nonsense. I think he's happy in his job at the moment, working for Red Bull. He said in the future, who knows, he may return as a manager. But for the time being, he is happy. The other sort of names in the frame who've been linked with the job, Didier Deschamps, very, very interesting. What a fantastic job he's done at France. He's been there for 14 years, but he's leaving after this World Cup. Mauricio Pochettino as well, who's been linked with the Real Madrid job on numerous occasions before, most notably when he got Spurs to the Champions League final. He's had a contract with the USA after the World Cup. Could they go back in for him? And also Lionel Scaloni, who's won the World Cup with Argentina. He still lives in Spain. He's played in Spain. He has worked as an assistant, I think, in Spain, but he's never managed the club. So I think that would be a bit of a risk. At the moment, though, it looks like all roads for Real Madrid are going to lead to Jose Mourinho.
That is absolutely
astonishing. I know you won't be happy, but a lot of Real Madrid fans will be happy.
Will they?
Florentino Perez will be happy.
Wow. Carve Solokal, our chief correspondent, with that bombshell news. All right, thank you, Carve. Now, still to come, significant